Greetings, 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 my peeps. Oh my gosh. I had no idea I could be this nervous watching the Ashes. If you missed the final day of this opening test match, you definitely missed out. This is why we still love test cricket, my peeps. This is why we still love test cricket. Australia holding on. Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon holding on at the back end there to give the Australians the victory. We're going to take a look at the game, and we're also going to be taking a look at West Indies Test Vice Captain Jermaine Blackwood, who actually ran in a track and field event over there in Jamaica recently. Man participated in a 100-meter race, and he spoke about using track and field training to keep his fitness up for West Indies cricket. So just give a listening ear until the end and let me know what you think about this one. So, scores in the game. England 393 for 8 declare. One would say that come back around to bite them in the you-know-what. And 273 all out. Australia 386 and 282 for 8. For 282 for 8. Chasing down a target of 281. So, the Aussies, they were able to get across the line. Now, going into the final day, my viewers and subscribers, we would say that, things were probably slightly in the Aussies' favor, in the sense that Khawaja was still there and Travis Head was still to come. But Scott Boland, the night watchman, was removed pretty early. Travis Head was removed shortly after. Cameron Greeny came and he was removed. So it was looking real bright for England until Pat Cummins came to the crease. I tell you, my viewers and subscribers, Pat Cummins and Alex Carey, both men actually put together a very good partnership. And Carey was removed, and then Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon, they came together, and it was smooth sailing from then. I think when Pat Cummins came to the crease, they actually wanted 74 more runs. He batted and batted with Carey until we would have seen Nathan Lyon coming in. When Nathan Lyon came to the crease, they wanted in the 50s, think about 54. And Nathan Lyon and Pat Cummins, they were able to steer Australia across the line. But I tell you, it was a very, very good test match. Kudos to England for pushing them all the way. One would say that the declaration there at the first on the first day probably is the reason why this game went down to the wire. Some will say they lost the game because of that. All different things. Some will point finger to Johnny Bairstow, who missed a couple of chances. But I just one of them things there. So let me just go through the scorecard once again. So as I said, England 393 for 8 declare and 273. In their first innings there, we would have seen... Let me just give it the top scorer, Joe Root. He actually got a century. So Joe Root was the man that did most of the work. He got 180 not out in that first innings there. Johnny Bairstow got 78, while Zach Crawley, he picked up 61. Usman Khawaja got 100 in the first innings for Australia. He made 141, and he returned in the second innings to get a half century. Wasn't able to carry them across the line, but because of his excellent batting and soaking up of pressure, they were able to get the score. The score really came in the last 3 overs before they took the new ball. Where Nathan Lyon and I think it was Pat Cummins, they were able to score some runs off Joe Root. And when Ollie Robinson came back with the new ball, they got some runs there. So it was a good test. It was a good test match. I am sure Usman Khawaja will be given the man of the match, having scored that century and getting a half century in the second inning. So that is how that game went, my viewers and subscribers. As I said, test cricket at its best. I don't know how you can say test cricket is fading out. That was some brilliant cricket. Alright, moving on to our own now. West Indies. Talking about our test vice captain Jermaine Blackwood. Man is known to be a very fast cricketer, somebody that is usually very fit, and I am taking this one from Sportsmax. The headline says Blackwood credits track and field training for improvement in overall fitness. He said that I haven't looked back since. And he's talking about training with Ewan Blake. You know, apparently they are close friends, and he called up Ewan Blake a couple of years ago and said, listen, I want to do some training to try and see if I can get my fitness level up. And Ewan Blake would have invited him to the Titans Track Club, I think it is called, to do some training with them. And, you know, according to him, he hasn't looked back since he started there. Now, he actually took part in a track meet. Yeah, man, he took part in his first track meet. I think it was over the weekend, and he ran 11.76. You know, 11.76 is a good time. You know, he's not training for, he's not doing sprinters training and stuff like that. You can imagine he's working on his overall fitness. So certain things that sprinters would be doing, you know, he's not probably not zooming in and those sort of things. But, you know, good to see that he's putting in the work to keep himself fit. You would have to remember, I think it was from 2011 they said that, yeah man, well, probably not from 2011. I think they're saying, well, they didn't give the exact time when he started training with them. Only that he hasn't looked back since he started. You know, and if you look at what some players are doing across the world that are in their 30s going up, you know, they make sure that they take their training seriously. So Jermaine Blackwood, who is known to be a man very fast in the outfield, you understand, he's a busy player when he's batting. You know, he's not necessarily a power hitter when he's playing test cricket. Goes at the ball, yes, but you know, he's known for rotating the strike and things. So you definitely want to make sure that the fitness level is up there. And according to him, you know, he's doing cross training. And cross training is something that is good enough, because certain things, that background work that they do in track and field as a cricketer, you definitely can use those sort of strength training to get yourself in shape. So he's saying that this is Jermaine Blackwood, and I quote, I reached out to Ewan and I told him I want to come and do some fitness work. And he said I should come to the track and train with his club. And from that day, I haven't looked back since. He's saying I can see that my overall fitness has improved a lot from there until now. So he is looking to continue the work. So shout out to our vice captain, my peeps. It's always good when the leaders in the dressing room are actually setting an example. Can't say that you're a leader and you know you're sloppy. We are hoping that the technical aspect is there also. You know, we face England in 2 test matches in short order. So you're gonna need to be fully fit to work against England, but you're gonna need to be technically sound also to make sure you're not making any mistakes. So shout out to Jermaine Blackwood running his 11.76 in the 100 meter. A pretty nippy time. Big up on yourself, my peeps. I remember we'll be live later on today. Alright? Blessings.